Today I'm wearing one earring. I remember Beyonce doing this one time, and this ear hole is ripped, so I'm going with it today. It's called style, look it up. It's time that I introduce you to my children, my fur babies, and my boyfriend. So this is Pino here. Pino's the smushy one. He's got a big round head, and Ramen's, come here Ramen, say hi to the camera. Come here. This is Ramen. He's the smarter one. Yes, you are. And they're my life. I'm very grateful today that Thrive is a part of this episode because they're this online grocery store that also has dog treats. Oh, you tired, buddy? That also has dog treats, dog toys, all the healthy stuff you need to take care of your pets as well as yourself. I love Thrive Market. I've been a customer of theirs for a couple years now. And if you're a member, you can get 20 to 50% off traditional retail prices. Thrive Market has everything you need from non-GMO food to safe supplements to non-toxic home products, which is really important when you have little ones or little pups. Thrive Market also has everything you need for your specific diet. So you just type in the word keto, Whole30, vegetarian, whatever specific diet it is you want. And you can also do that for your pups. They even have a 1-for-1 membership matching program through Thrive Gives, which I love. Click the link below to get a $20 shopping credit when you join. So I got a couple of things for the dogs in my Thrive box this week. These are their favorites. It's Newman's Own, their dog biscuits, turkey and sweet potato flavor. See, watch. Ramen, you want one? They live for these. Okay, you have to sit. Sit. Good boy. Can you shake? Shake. Wait. Yeah, that's a good boy. Ramen, do you want to sit pretty? Oh, good sit pretty. And then I also got them this toy because these boys will rip up any toy, but this one's really durable because it's made of rope. So it's lasted them a few days, which is pretty impressive for them. All right, you've met the dogs. And now I want you to meet my boyfriend. Hey, Jay!
Yeah?
Come hang out. Oh boy.
Let's go.
Oh gosh, the energy ball's coming in. Oh, Pino is there. Okay, so many of you have probably heard this story of how we met, how we got here. We're gonna dive into a little more about our relationship.
Let's do it.
Most of you know I have a podcast, Off the Vine. I was in Seattle visiting a friend, hanging out in Seattle. I'm thinking, who lives in Seattle that I can podcast with? Okay, there's Jason Mesnick and Molly from The Bachelor World. There's, who else is in The Bachelor World from Seattle?
Desiree.
Oh yeah, Des. So we reached out to people
Olivia.
Oh yeah, Olivia was there. And then Jason was also there and he had just come off the show, The Bachelorette. So I was like, ooh, fresh meat. I'm gonna scoop him up, get him on my podcast.
When I met Kaitlyn, I had just found out that I did not get The Bachelor. Colton got it. And so at that point, something hit me where I'm like, who knows what's next? Like, stop getting so worked up about all this stuff. But I was really nervous for your podcast. And so I went to the bar right around the corner and ripped a shot and had a beer. So, little inside scoop.
That's funny. I walk in, I'm like, he wasn't there yet. So I said to my girlfriend, Olivia, I'm like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I was bawling the whole way here. I had my dad on FaceTime. Like, I was trying to regroup and just get it together. And then Jason walked in and I was like, okay. And he's all like, happy-go-lucky Jason. And he walks in and I said, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm having a really tough day. I was just crying before you got here. And that's like a lot to put on somebody when they first walk into a room when they're supposed to be the host. Like, I was supposed to be this host on the podcast. And he just gave me the most electric hug I've ever had. Yeah. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. There was some intangible energy in that hug.
And I instantly
I still remember that hug. I remember what you're wearing. I remember it.
I remember what you were wearing too.
I remember that hug.
And
I don't remember.
And you put your arms around me tight, and I held you from the back, and it was kind of like but I don't think we realized what it was in that moment, or I didn't at least. But I was like, that was a great hug. I needed that. And you said, I just was emotional today too. So, and it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so he said, let's just have a soft Tuesday together. And I instantly felt calm and happier and better. And then he pulled out a bottle of wine.
Then I was playing to the player. So I brought a nice bottle of wine. You're like, you came fully prepared. So it was the perfect transition of like, yeah, this was a tough Tuesday. Let's turn it around right here, right now.
Yeah. And we did. And we had so much fun on the podcast. And we were drinking wine and like chirping back and forth. I called my girlfriend who I was staying with and I was like, whoever dates that guy is so lucky. And Jason called his friend.
You know, boys, I had boy talk. I turned the corner. I called my best buddy. He's like, so how'd that go? I know you were nervous. And I was like, facetious, serious. I was like, oh yeah, I just met my wife. I think I'm in love. And he just started laughing. He's like, come on. And I'm like, no, I don't know. There's something going on there. I don't know what's going on, but like something's going on there.
And in my head, I'm going, I can't wait to have that guy as a bro for life.
Looking back at it, never did I make a pass and ask for a number, get anything of that nature.
But my question is to you, if you walked around that corner and you said, I met my future wife, but you didn't know where the relationship was with myself and Sean, did you feel like you had to just let it go? Or did you hang on to it and hope? Or like, because I feel like there's people out there that have, they're like, oh my God, that's my person. But how do you deal with that if you think there was somebody else?
Yeah, I'm really good at balancing emotion and logic. So I
am not. I wonder if anyone out there has been stuck in the friend zone like you kind of were and how they got out of it or if they did. So if anyone out there has been in the friend zone and you got through it and you pushed past it or you had to let it go, let us know.
Yeah, comment below and I will tell you how to break down those walls. I think at one point or another you have to take a shot. You got to do it when it's appropriate and timing is right.
Are you quoting Wayne Gretzky?
No, Wayne Gretzky's, oh yeah, kind of, I guess.
I realized I had feelings for you when you did that. Because I was like, well, I don't want him going on a date with somebody else. And then I was like, oh, I have feelings. But at that point, I'm like, it's just too soon. And I'm trying to talk myself out of it. But you just can't talk yourself out of someone that makes you feel happy and who brings joy into your life. Like, why would you fight that? When I was talking to my best friends and family, they're like, well, what's the harm in somebody that brings joy into your life or that you have a good relationship with? He lives in Seattle, you live in Nashville. It's not like you guys are just gonna move in together.
Right.
Cut to 6 months later. We moved in. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we moved pretty quickly, but
we would fall asleep on each other's FaceTime. Like we'd put the pillow, the phone on the opposite pillow, talk and fall asleep. So it was like this weird force that I haven't had with someone before that like we couldn't stop being connected.
We just did not stop talking about just everyday life and I remember you were so freaked out about turning 30. And I was oh God, oh no, 30. And then I was like, I guarantee 30 is going to be the best year of your life. And it was.
If you don't say so yourself.
I don't mean just because of me. I just had this feeling for you.
Maybe
because
you're a psychic.
I am.
I know. You do have a little psychic.
No, I have psychic abilities. It's, I mean, one, it's
your intuition's crazy.
One, it's a woman's intuition, but two, I do have psychic abilities. But what I do? I know what you're thinking right now.
What do you think I'm thinking?
You crazy.
Maybe you are a psychic.
Aww.
I'm just before we knew it, we got to a point where I was like, we should go on a date.
Yeah. I feel like we both said, like, I would be sad if you were talking to anyone else.
Yeah.
I would be sad.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, we're not. And then it kind of, snowballed from there. And then we were both going to be in Denver at the same time in January. So we said, let's go on a date then.
Yeah.
And then we had our first date.
We went to the whiskey bar. We went dancing, singing.
A piano bar.
The piano bar. It was awesome.
And then we just danced the night away.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh my gosh, this guy loves singing and dancing and he just dances with me and he has so much fun and this is my dream.
And then we went to the Denver Nuggets game. And then remember the next day?
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. 6 months after our date, we just couldn't do the long distance anymore. It was Seattle to Nashville is a 5.5-hour flight. And Jason decided to leave corporate America. You can always go back.
Always go back.
So we decided that Jason was going to move to Nashville and we just started our life together. We We started doing renovations around the house. We rescued 2 dogs that are the joys of our lives.
Yep.
Jason surprised me with a dog.
I totally downplayed it. I'm like, I was like, okay, we can't do Pinot right now. We're traveling too much. We can't do it. And I was working to set it up for an early Christmas gift surprise. So I worked the back end with Bunny's buddies. We worked the logistics of bringing Pinot from South Korea to Atlanta.
I saw this dog coming down with Jason, and I was like, oh, his friends have a golden. I'm like, oh, it looks like Pinot. And then he comes down, and I see a videographer come out, and I'm like, and then Jason's like, this is Pinot. I was like,
yeah, you were shocked.
I was like, you're lying to me. Yeah, that was amazing.
That's awesome.
I mean, who doesn't want a boyfriend that surprises them with golden retrievers?
Yes, great Christmas gift.
How are you going to propose to me? Because I would have thought you would take a golden retriever to propose.
Well, the wheels are spinning. We're working on it.
So the bar is set pretty high.
The bar is set high. We're going to have to bring it to the next level. So if you guys have any ideas, leave some comments, please, below, because it is a work in process.
Well, then I'm not going to read them. Just kidding. I still will because I want to know ideas. We've helped each other grow so much not only individually, like, or in a relationship, but in our careers.
There's nothing that drives me crazier is like when someone is taken advantage of. And that's in corporate America, that's in life. Like, I can't stand it.
I was doing great, but you just came in and you tightened everything up, and you've helped me succeed so much more just from like your knowledge and like passion to help people. I am going to take you upstairs and show you where the magic happens. Welcome to the Restart headquarters, where Mr. Jason Tartick is sitting there waiting for us. Let's, here, I'll come over and sit on your lap.
So with Restart, what we're doing is we're doing financial literacy and then career counseling. And we are doing consulting sessions. We are offering free tutorials on YouTube.
You're changing people's lives and doing it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. And that's what you've done for me with all of my businesses. You've broken it down. You've made it seem like something I can understand without using all the big terms like
PE ratio?
What? Low-hanging fruit?
She always makes fun of me for my like little corporate American dad terms, right?
That's the low-hanging fruit.
What was the other one I said?
know.
Oh, pivot.
Oh yeah, you gotta pivot. You're just so good at it. It comes so naturally to you, but you take hours out of your day. I really appreciate it. Vulnerability creates connection. Mm-hmm. And I've learned that over the years, and it took me practice to learn to be vulnerable. But I think that's a cool thing about coming from Bachelor World too, is I think they really help you open up to being vulnerable. You know, how many people go on The Bachelor and they're like, I have a really hard time letting my walls down. Everyone says that when they come on that show. By the end, they're bawling and like, I've learned so much about myself, but you really do. And I feel like that's something we both can take away from that, and how we bring it into the relationship and help each other is that being vulnerable is not a weakness, it's a superpower.
It's a superpower.
What are the top 3 things you love most about each other?
One would be just, I feel like you're very self-aware and confident in who you are, and you're not afraid to like be super emotional or loving or just expressive with who you are. Mm-hmm. And I think that's come like over the last few years for you, and it's one of my favorite things about you. Sure. And, another thing I love about you is how you love me. I don't think I've ever had a relationship where somebody makes me feel so safe. Like, I feel so loved, and I feel not afraid to love you back, because I know it's just like such a true, honest, loving relationship. And I don't feel afraid.
Oh, sweet.
And then 3, I love your tush. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do love your tush. But 3, I think your love for your family and friends. I like when somebody is just like, you're so close with your family. You talk to them every day. Family and friends are very important to you, and you want your own family. Mm-hmm. And I love that about you.
Well, thank you, honey. So the things I love most about you are, first and foremost, your sense of humor is just unbelievable. I mean, like your ability to have fun, laugh at situations, make light of serious things and just enjoy life is unbelievable. Secondly is like every day you wake up and you know you have a purpose and you know that you are going to try and make a difference. No matter what, Kaitlyn Bristowe is going to be relentlessly herself, regardless if people like it or not, because she knows that's who she is and she will not conform to anyone else except for what she believes in. And I love that about you. And then, you know, one of the other things I love how you're so vulnerable and open. Like I never have to, if you've been in a relationship where you're wondering like where the other person stands, I never have to worry about that with Kaitlyn because she's always just very open. And that's for good times and bad times. But that open communication just allows us to be more connected because I understand where you are at. And then lastly, you already mentioned it, but
Ooh, this is number 4.
Yeah, number 4. You're getting a bonus one. You know, I love the way actually Chris Harrison had mentioned it, but he's like, we all know Kaitlyn for Kaitlyn. And when we say Kaitlyn Bristowe, we know what her brand represents, but Kaitlyn has such a soft and sweet, sensitive side. And the way you treat your loved ones is so important. And the way you handle care with babies and dogs and just things that matter to you is just like with all the kindness and like genuine love you can give them. You clearly prioritize the things that matter most, and that's so important. Yeah.
That's so nice. I hope you learned something new about us and took away something from this today. And make sure you let us know what that is. And also make sure you subscribe so that we can hang out every week. Oh, and I can't leave the episode without giving Thrive Market a huge thank you for sponsoring this episode.